You've all probably heard of subscription boxes, but did you know that there is an equestrian-specific one? We talk with Carly, the founder of the Cavalli Club subscription box. Carly talks about her business and how she curates each individual box.
Listen to this episode to find out who is the artist for this box.
So enjoy! Welcome to Late Night Riders. I'm Gretchen, and I'm joined by my mom, Kristen, my grandma, Debbie, and Carly.
Hi there.
Hi.
So Carly is the founder of the Cavalli Club subscription box, and can you talk a little bit about what exactly that is?
Of course. So Cavalli Club is a seasonal subscription box. So we deliver a box 4 times a year, and it is a curation of products for both horse and rider. So we typically curate between 5 to 7 items, and we look for seasonal essentials, novel products, like things that you hadn't necessarily heard of, but you are excited to try, and innovative products for both horse and rider.
Nice.
So you pick out an equestrian artist each season to design the box. This box was designed by, the fall one specifically, was designed by Silver Oaks Farm, who we love. We follow her. She has our products. And how do you pick an artist for each box?
Yeah, so really good question. There are a couple subscription boxes that aren't necessarily in the equestrian industry, but I greatly admire the whole experience that they put together. And I think the exterior of the box itself is definitely part of the unboxing experience. I think in 2019, you know, when you unbox your new iPhone or your new whatever, it's like definitely an exciting moment. And I want the Cavalli Club seasonal box to be an experience from the minute it hits your door. So we started working with artists about 3 seasons ago, and we are lucky in that there are so many talented equestrian artists out there, whatever their medium may be, whether it's watercolor or photography or, you know, pop art. So I just really kind of recruit mainly via like Instagram or what have you, and I want a specific vibe per season. I think, you know, for example, for the summertime box, I wanted that box to be lighthearted, bright, happy, and so I found an artist that I thought her work lended itself really well to that season. And with Erin, she is a photographer, and she did this really beautiful watercolor effect over her photography. And I think with fall, it's a really thoughtful time of the year. It's really, it's a time of family. It's time to sort of like look inwardly. And there's like this really interesting study that shows that people, you know, take stock against their progress against goals at 2 times during the year, and that's their birthday and the fall. So it's a really like introspective time of the year, and I really wanted the exterior of the box to kind of play into that kind of like mental tranquility, family time, minimalistic, and I felt like Erin was the perfect match for that box, and she just knocked it out of the park. So the process,
it's absolutely stunning.
The process is you know, not super detailed. I kind of just respect the artist and let them kind of do what they want, but I give them a couple words to kind of play into and in terms of mood board. And I've been really fortunate to work with talented people.
Nice.
So how did your business get started from the beginning? Like, where did you see the need for a subscription box? Because you're really one of the first true equestrian themed ones that I've seen personally.
Yeah, so I can back up way to the beginning. I didn't grow up owning a horse. I took lessons here and there and yada, 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 but it wasn't until my mid-20s that I purchased my first horse. And I was at a barn where it was a show barn, and I had never been like in a show barn environment before. I was, sorry, what was that?
No, keep going.
I had never been in like a show barn environment, and I had purchased Rudy, my dressage partner. We're going to do lower level dressage together. And I went to a large equestrian retailer and I got the basics. And you know what it's like when you go to those large equestrian retailers, there's like 2 or 3 products per category and you just kind of like get it done. And I was at this barn and I feel like there's one barnmate in particular, I'll just call her out, Meg. She's like the product queen. She has like, you know, all these amazing products for grooming, all these amazing saddle pads, this, that, the other thing. And I'm just like derping around with whatever I got off of Amazon or whatever. So I was like, where did she find all these amazing products? Like, I want to try every single one of them. So I started searching around for a subscription box that would show me cool products. It would introduce me to new things. It was like definitely like I won't say high-end subscription box, but I didn't want things that I already had. That sounds, but yeah, I was looking around for a subscription box that would introduce me to new products. I was basically looking for a discovery box, and I couldn't find it. And I was like, well, surely there are other people like Carly that want this type of box. So let me just start it myself and see how it goes. So yeah, that's how it started.
And you just pick out the things that you feel that you choose, and how do you look at, you know, how do you find all these different things then? You know, is it just your research or your friends, or, you know, what helps you figure that out?
Yeah, so there are 3 different layers to the curation. I think in the very beginning, before I really had like a diverse membership, it was really me sort of trialing products that I discovered online, like D2C brands, and also, you know, the bigger brands to sort of like bring their products into the box. Now I have a membership that they give me amazing recommendations. They say, you know, I saw this product, I want to try it. So there's 3 layers. The first is seasonal essentials. I look for brands that, you know, deliver something premium that would work well for summer or work well for fall or whatever. The second is I look for brands that are cultivating a really engaged community. Like, they don't have to necessarily be big brands, but they are just crushing it. People love them. They have lots of brand advocates. So I want to bring in them. And then the final phase is looking for something really niche, really novel, really innovative. And I think like just a perfect example is Best Brush Forward is a brand that I worked with for the summer box, and they're like brush cleaning balms. And it's something that I hadn't ever seen in the in like tack shops or whatever. I mean, maybe they exist elsewhere, but I certainly hadn't seen them. And they were kind of this relatively unknown brand, and their product is just killer and very niche, very novel. And so there's the kind of 3 layers.
Do you feel like you cater to one like discipline or another, or how does that work for you?
Yeah, I would say right now my membership is probably 85% English riders.
Okay.
And I'm getting more and more Western riders, which is really, really cool. But I want to make sure that I am able to deliver a box that is customizable, in that both a Western and an English rider can really enjoy it. We're not at that phase yet in our business, but it's something that's really important for me for 2020. I think right now my curation can appeal to English and Western riders. Like, I definitely don't, you know, hardcore like specify and like, you know, you have to be a dressage rider in order to use these, you know, whatever. But I think as we grow and as our membership starts to diversify, I think it's really important to add the customizable element to the box for Western riders.
That's nice though, because sometimes, you know, I think we need to be sure that the Western riders know too that it's something that they can use as well. I don't know, you know, if not telling one way or the other, but that's wonderful that anybody would want to use that. So that's a good thing for people to know.
Yeah, and I think just as an English writer, I kind of came at it automatically with the lens of what I would want.
Sure.
But I'm fortunate enough in that the Western writers that have been with me at the beginning have gotten plenty of use out of everything that I've curated for them. So it's not too specific yet at this point.
Nice.
So when you first launched the very first box, was it an instant hit, or have you seen a very steady growth?
No. Like any it's funny.
It's just so cute.
Reflecting over the past year about where I started, like the from to kind of story. So when I first started, I was trying to do two things. I was trying to build a brand. I was trying to build something that people trust, people, respect. I'm not just like this person who's taking your money and like running off with it.
Right.
And the second thing, I was trying to build a product, and a subscription-based product, which, I think automatically is something that people are hesitant towards, obviously, because it's a subscription.
Right.
So when you first start out, I was lucky to align myself with bloggers that were super authentic and gave me reviews that weren't, because I sent them free product, they gave me something, they said wonderful things about me. So it was a very authentic relationship that I formed with certain bloggers, specific influencers around Instagram. And I was lucky to immediately kind of capture the first wave of brand advocates that were looking for a box like mine, and they were so glad that they had found me. I think in terms of the curation, I am so proud of the first curation that we put out there. I think now looking back, I've definitely made some improvements of what my members are looking for. Innovation is iteration, right?
Yeah.
So from that moment, I've definitely learned a lot and all of that. But the first box that we released was tough because, not tough, I won't say tough, but the growth was steady. Just because I was a new kid,
Yeah, getting started in business is not always, it's not for the faint of heart at all. Let's put it that way. You've got to start, and then, come what may at that time, you can expect, but then you have to deal with what comes then. So that's good. But that's how businesses grow. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You just learn every day and listen to your customers. I've been blown away by certain brands that, not necessarily in the equestrian space, but just in the world in general, just ignore comments and ignore feedback from customers. And I think that is something that is just a foundation of me. Like, the box doesn't exist without recommendations or engagement from my community.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you think that you would be in business? I know you started this because of something that you needed, but do you have a business background?
I actually have an advertising background. I worked at an ad agency since the start of my career, really. So I definitely have that skill set that I come with. I'm very aware of my weaknesses. So I've been, I've hired on some people to help me with those weaknesses, and so they can strengthen that part of the business. And I,
Good for
obviously,
you. Yeah.
can do the branding.
Good for you.
How big is your team?
Just 2 people. Well, it's me and one other man, and then I actually work with a couple freelancers for my creative side, and they're actually just my friends that I had worked with at the ad agency. So I'm fortunate enough to have those contacts. Extremely talented people that are, helping me realize a vision.
Yeah, I was wondering because your videos are so fun on Instagram to watch, like announcing the boxes and stuff. And I was like, I wonder if she's creating that or if she's freelancing it out.
We did a video recently where the box travels to New York, which is pretty much like the gold star in my career right now. But no, my friend Mark created that in like a day. And I'm very proud of it because I added the music and I added the airplane sound to it. So I did that part of it. That was my contribution. But yeah, I think I'm also very, coming from an advertising background, I'm pretty scrappy with like the free apps that are on your phone and da-da-da-da-da. So a lot of the graphics I make myself, but in animation I'm not capable of doing.
Yeah.
So when you started, how did you know who to reach out to? I know you said, you were looking for things that other people kind of told you, but were you scared to ask people, or did you get a lot of no's, or how did that work?
I think for the most part, I think one of the most motivating factors in the beginning was how receptive bigger brands were. Not necessarily bigger brands, but like just brands in general were to working with me. So I've always been one of those people that has never been afraid to ask and never been afraid to reach out. And that sometimes that's like, bit me in the butt a few times, but I've never been, a shrinking violet in terms of that. So I was reaching out to people right away, like even without a logo.
Wow.
One of the first phone calls or first emails that I had sent out was to Christy from Dreamers and Schemers to get her socks in the fall box.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and she is, an amazing brand. She's built this amazing community and amazing product. And she's also been in other subscription boxes before. So the fact that she was so encouraging and so receptive and just so like, go get 'em girl, it was really nice to have that, that motivation, that support, encouragement.
Yeah.
And I think in the beginning, that's something that you really need. You need someone to believe in you. So yeah, Christy was an example of a lot of different people along the way that were really excited about this idea. So yeah, I started reaching out to people right away.
So how much is the box, and then what is the actual value of what you're getting?
Yeah, so the subscription is a 4-time-a-year box delivery, so you could charge 4 times a year. It's $54.95, and the retail value within each box is at least $130 plus. I think one of the so there's 3 pillars of Cavalli Club, and that is discovery. We want to introduce you to your new favorite product. Enjoyment, we want to sort of please you every step of the way, like from the box design to the inside of the box to the customer service. And finally, value. I think I'll be honest, no one needs a subscription box. The whole point of a subscription box is A, to be convenient, and B, to be fun. Yeah. So we want to make sure that we are giving a lot of value to our members. And that's why when we go about curating, we're like, all right, we want to make sure that we curate products that if you were to buy this all together, that it's at least triple the amount that you would pay. Right. In store or online or wherever. So that's very, very important to the product.
Wow.
That's really cool. Well, I know my mom just bought a box.
I did today.
I want to get one. So I'm like, yes, I think we need to see what that's all about. So,
But I think it's exciting to find new products. And, the thing about just being entrepreneurs in the horse world, where you started something where you just said, you haven't owned a horse since you were really young, and in your 20s you owned your horse, so you don't have to start from the time that you're young. You can start when you're older, and I mean, even we're 30 years that my mom started this company.
We started with our girlfriends. I started with girlfriends in the barn.
But I think it's really neat, though, that now you're bringing in other people who may not be so well known, and then you might find your new favorite product and building them up as these entrepreneurs in the horse world too. This is really neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another emerging factor or emerging sort of like trend that I'm seeing is a lot of women, like millennial women, that are bringing something new to the equestrian space in terms of like product innovation. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example. A really cool part of the Cavalli Club experience that's been part of my experience as I've been reaching out to all these really cool brands that I have discovered, a lot of direct-to-consumer brands, is this like wave of female entrepreneurs that are, they've been working in other jobs, other industries, and now they are seeing a need in the equestrian space and, disrupting it in different elements.
Mm-hmm.
I hate using the word disruption because it's so overused, but it's also something that really is a truth that's happening. Sterling Essentials is one of my fall box partners.
Okay.
And the founder is Teal. And she's based in Oregon, and she noticed that her saddles were getting mildewy with the wet winters that they have there and whatnot, and she put leather care obviously on her saddles to fix that, and noticed that her horse broke out in hives from the leather care, and she has really sensitive skin herself as well. And so she's like, you know what, I can change this. I have the background, I have the education, I see a need, and I'm going to change this. And I think the barrier of entry for starting your own business is lower today because we have wonderful tools available to us.
Yes.
So, more and more people who are capable and see a need are starting their own businesses and own brands. And, Sterling Essentials is killing it. People absolutely love their product. And so we're just so stoked to partner with a brand like hers. But yeah, I see that kind of story, that kind of thing happen again and again, and it's just so cool to be a part of this like wave of women.
It's exciting to see, though, because I really think, this sounds funny from an old school girl who's been in it for so long, everything was just dyed-in-the-wool tradition, dyed-in-the-wool tradition. Everybody did the same thing. And I'm excited to see these new things happening. Like we're seeing, like you say, the millennials, people coming up now into it with different ideas, and I'm happy to see it.
We love our tradition, but more and more, I think the modern rider, the modern woman is like, you know what, I see areas of my skincare and, that those industries, they're like blown ahead in terms of innovation. Like, why can't we see that in the equestrian world? So yeah.
Is there anything we could tell, like, our listeners about your upcoming boxes that you don't want to reveal what it is exactly, but are there any little things that they might want to that they might be interested in that you could kind of maybe talk around a little bit that would be fun for them to think about for the subscription?
Yeah, I think a big initiative of ours is within the next couple boxes is a customizable option. I talked a little bit earlier about that, where people get to choose a this or that.
Okay. Okay.
So,
that's fun. For
example, there will be like 3 or 4 products that are set in each curation. Like, those are just one size fits all. That's what your, like grooming products or what have you, something for the barn. So yeah, the customizable option would be, a this or that. And we would try to make it as more specific to disciplines. I also have riders that don't own horses. They lease horses. So they kind of want more stuff for the rider. Or people that don't show, but, and they don't necessarily need like the show day essentials, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's a big initiative for us in 2020.
Nice.
And on your website, can you purchase some of these things that are in the boxes themselves if you like them, or what is that like?
Yeah, we have a member shop that basically it's a place where if we have inventory that's, sorry to not put any fluffy marketing language on this, but if we have inventory that is left over, we put that on the member shop where members only, you have to have an active subscription. That's where you can go to buy more. We also have exclusive partnerships with maybe like 2 or 3 brands a season where we feature products from them that are, discounted, because we really want people to try these products and, try them out and give them a chance. So yeah, members only. The big part of Cavalli Club is to drive traffic back, drive people back to our partners' websites to purchase directly from them. So, that's the benefit of partnering with Cavalli Club. So we use our member shop really just for like exclusive seasonal things. Another big thing that we've recently rolled out with Fall Box is our partnerships with tax shops. And we are probably going to do a tax shop partnership maybe like once a year, where we're going to specially choose a tax shop based off of, a lot of different factors. For Fall, partnered with Manhattan Cavalli, which is, like an institution, one of the oldest tax shops in America, and has so much history and tradition to it. And I think as a subscription box, I'm really just a platform for discovery and a really cool tool that these retailers can use to reach new audiences. And so in the age of Amazon and, free shipping and Amazon's basically taking over the world, I want to make sure that we still support local, shop local, and our tax shops are really, really important to us.
Well, I agree with that because even though I knew about Manhattan Saddlery, we are going this weekend to take our daughter to school. We're really excited about that, but that wasn't on our checkoff list of things that we were going to do, but it is now because I looked at your box and saw that they were on there, and I'm like, that's one place that we have to go to, so the awareness is so good. So
it's really a beautiful space. I mean, in New York, you think that a tax shop would be like as big as your foot, but it's huge. It's like 3 stories. It's like, there's 3 levels, I should say, and it's a huge retail space and really beautiful brands that are curated. And also just like from a decor aspect, like you really enjoy being inside there. They have like leather chairs and like all of that. So
I'm
We
excited.
want lots of pictures.
So yeah, is she going to school in New York City?
Yep. She's in fashion merchandising, and she goes to Kent State, and Kent has a school there, so they have to do one semester kind of abroad or, someplace else, so that's where she chose.
That's super cool. She's gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, what's next for you? Like, are you starting to plan your winter box, or is that already planned? And what can we see coming from you in the future?
Yeah, so fall starts shipping in 2 weeks. So we're very excited to get those boxes out the door. And winter is about curated, almost done. And we already secured a winter box artist we're very excited about. And we think that she's going to crush it. And we're just trying to innovate and partner with really exciting entities within the equestrian space and always bring members something new and something exciting. So, this is a really special treat each season.
Awesome. Nice. Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll enter our next segment, Canter Banter.
Do you love horses and live the equestrian lifestyle? Be sure to check out our brand new blog at www.yourhorsefarm.com. We publish 3 posts per week and feature a free printable equine checklist every month. Yourhorsefarm.com is a great equine online resource, so be sure to share with all the horse lovers in your life. And remember, laugh much and ride often. Our next segment, Canter Banter, is brought to you by RAMM Horse Fencing and Stalls, the one-stop shop for your horse farm. RAMM is family-owned and operated and has been in business for over 30 years. We welcome you to call in and speak with an expert about your next project today at 866-653-8984. Again, that's 866-653-8984.
And we're back. On this segment of Canter Banter, Carly's going to tell us a story about her little girl.
Yeah, so I have a little 2-year-old named Naomi, and she's going through that phase right now where, like, her brain is just like exploding. Like every drawer needs to be examined. Like everything, she needs to see if anything can be a hat. You know, she's just all over the place. And so I'm also 7 months pregnant right now, so I'm not riding. And I have 2 horses, and I try to take Naomi and my dog out to the barn every weekend just to spend time with them and bathe my horses and da-da-da-da-da. So I try to make it like a fun thing. Naomi, there used to be a time where I could put her in a pack and play, and she would watch Peppa Pig, and it would be great. Like, I could just walk away and know that she's not gonna like get kicked or anything like that. Not anymore. She would be really mad if I tried to put her in a pack and play. So I was like trying to be creative with what I can do with her while I groomed my horse. Rudy is 16, so he's like as safe as can be. But I have a 2-year-old horse too, and he's not as can be. So I was like, okay, where can I put Naomi? And I also have my dog with me too, and she's like annoying. So we have this arena at our barn. It's a covered arena where I can close the doors, and the footing is sand. And so we have a little bucket there where the kids think that they're playing in the sand. And it's great. Like, oh my gosh, like what trouble could you possibly get into in this arena filled with sand? So I put her in the arena, and I put my dog in there too, and I closed the doors, and I'm going to go out to the field and grab Rudy from the field. And before everyone thinks I'm a terrible mother, you can look into the arena from the outside. Like there's like a 4-foot wall. You know, you can look inside and see them. And so as I was bringing Rudy in, I saw like Naomi's little blonde head running around. And I'm like, okay, great, she's safe. And I saw Violet, and she's my dog Violet, and everything's fine. So I bring Rudy in, I bathe him, I spend some time with him, and then I bring him back out to the field. And now I'm bringing Monty in. And I don't see Naomi, and I don't see Violet, and I look in like just sort of partially, and I see Naomi's hunched over something, and Violet's hunched over something, and they're like digging and playing, and I'm like, oh, well, they're playing in the sand, that's fine, you know, everything's fine, as long as they're like alive, I guess. So, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yes.
So they're hunched over something, and okay, so I bring Monty in, and Monty's my 2-year-old horse, and so like he's just like, you know, he's so great, but I have so much anxiety handling him because I'm like, please don't kick me in the stomach, like, oh my god. So I spent some time with him, and and he's great, and so I take him back out to the field, and as I'm walking him out, I see Naomi's little face, and it's covered in some dark stuff.
Some dark stuff.
Someone had just used the arena, and when I say just used, like within an hour, and left a hot pile of horse poop.
Oh no!
And my dog was eating it.
Oh no!
Was drawing the horse turds all over her arms and her face. So I have to put Monty
She's
out.
like a little poo.
I try to be delicate with Monty and be calm and all of that, but I'm like, oh my god, my child is covered in a horse poo. So I abruptly put him in the dry lot, and I take off his halter, and I'm like running over, and so yeah, I had to rinse off horse poop off of my toddler, and I don't think she ate any of it.
But she was happy.
Well, my dog definitely did. My dog's been known to eat lots of horse poop.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, just when you think like what could possibly go wrong, you know, I don't know how I missed that pile of horse poop. I have no idea how
really
I missed that.
Funny.
That's entertainment for
That's
hours.
Cute. I love it. And she was happy, I'm sure. You know, I'm sure your puppy was happy too, your little dog. Yeah.
Yeah, she loved it. Oh yeah. She just smells like horse poop the rest of the day. I mean, I don't mind the smell of horse poop, but I really don't want my child like in it, you know?
Right.
Yeah. That's so funny. Oh my goodness,
Carly,
that's cute.
Thank you so much for spending time talking to us today. We really enjoyed talking to you.
It's cute.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
We hope you enjoyed listening to our podcast and encourage you to share with all of your equestrian family and friends. You can tune into the Late Night Riders podcast show every Friday night. Each episode will be uploaded exclusively on YouTube, where you can subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all of our latest shows. Do you have a topic you'd like to discuss? We want to hear from you. You may email us at podcast@ramfence.com or feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you again for listening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carly.
Thank you.
Thank you.